Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. I'm going to give you guys a few moments before we get started. And this is a very important subject that we're going to get into today that we're going to chat about. So welcome to today's Poly Teaching Chat with your Coach Nyla. Is the topic for this teaching chat is polygamy. Am I my sister's keeper? Meaning, what we need to do, or are we responsible for our co-wife's happiness? And I'm going to get into it's even more than that. It's our sisters, period. Whether it's our sisters in Islam, for those who are Muslim, for just our sisters in humanity, our co-wives, things as far as that. But when it all comes down to it, of course, as we stated a number of times, and I'm going to keep stating this, that we do heavily do focus on polygyny and speaking on polygyny and how to navigate issues and challenges in polygyny, because it doesn't get enough or its fair share of airtime, airplay, as far as learning new things and learning how to quote unquote do it right and all these different things. So yes, we hear a number of people who say that it's not just this goes for any relationship. It doesn't have to be polygyny. We definitely know, and alhamdulillah, all praise due to Allah, that it does work with all, any relationship, all relationships. So yes, let me know where you guys are watching from, and I'd love to hear that, how your day going. Is it evening, morning, all that other good stuff. It's actually raining here today. I got a lot of information that I want to share with you, so make sure you grab something to write with and write on, and I'll be back with you and share this information, share this link, or share this in your social media pages or whatever, because sharing is caring. And I will see you guys in a minute after our intro. All right. See you in a minute. Okay, for some reason. All right. Hey, again, welcome back, or welcome to the Poly Teaching Chat with your Coach Nyla. Yes, in this episode, in this session, we are going to chat about and learn about being our sister's keeper, whether it's in polygyny or not, but definitely, can we ensure our co-wives' happiness? We have a number of people who comment that state, in a lot of this goes into incoming wives and their role, so to speak, or their perceived role into coming into polygynous marriages, or coming into polygyny, or being married to a man who's already married, to the point where it is that, well, she has to make sure that that the first wife is okay with it. And, if the first wife isn't happy, then why don't she just, go and have her own man, and these different things like that. As we stated numerous times before, but of course we have people that are new. And if you are new, welcome. That, polygyny is a form of marriage. It's honor amongst wives, it's honor amongst women. And when it comes down to it, we as wives are individual or are monogamously married to our husbands. So we have our own individual marriages. Case in point, a friend of mine she took me out for for breakfast for my birthday. So my birthday just passed, yes. But she took me out to my for my birthday on the 4th, and she stated, it was really interesting to me because I was not expecting it. She was like, "Oh, your husband and I mean your husband and you know, me and my husband, whatever." She said, "Your goals." You know, and it was like, what? It was like really crazy because she didn't state this as just in being in a polygynous marriage, because that's not what she's not looking, or she has not said anything about being in a polygynous marriage. People would see your marriage on how you present your marriage, you know? So, and I'm getting into this because uh, over and over and over again, I state that we are responsible for our own marriages. We are responsible for our own fulfillment in our marriages. Yes, our husband practices polygyny. Yes, he's married to multiple women, but we are not married to multiple people. We are not married to our co-wives. We are not married to multiple husbands. In polygyny, we're married to our husband. He's married to multiple women, and or multiple wives, or whatever, women, okay? So when it all comes down to it, when it comes to ensuring happiness, we cannot ensure another person's happiness. Our husbands can't even ensure our happiness. If we really be honest and we really think about it and look at it, we and be honest with ourselves. See, and I'm going to say it again. You guys are going to get so tired of me saying, yes, Coach Nyla, we know you are the accountability coach. So, yes, I'm the accountability coach. We got to hold ourselves accountable for our lives and for what we do, and what, you know, what we put out there to the world, what we put out in our relationships. So when it comes to our own individual happiness, um, we are responsible for, you know, the way we feel, and feelings are the meanings that we put on things. Like, emotions are going to happen. I get it. I tell you, I just my auntie just passed away, very close auntie. I don't know how other people family dynamics are, but my family dynamic is, I don't know. Some people say I was meant for polygyny, I guess, because um, my family is so like combined and mixed and things like that. That, you know, I was just, you know, I guess I was kind of groomed for it, even though no one in my family that I know of practice polygyny or anything like that. Well, you know, I mean polygyny, not polygamy or anything like that, or polyamory. I mean, but polygyny where they're married to multiple wives, and my jury is falling from my face. But they we're really close. I have an uncle that is like a brother to me. People look at him, they think that like he's my brother or cousin at the, cousin at least. But and even my cousins, they'll think that they're brothers or whatever. We're very, very, very tight knit for the most part. My auntie who just passed away was 10 years older than me, and yeah, I told you guys, those who know, they know. My mom had me very young, so she's 5 years older than my mom, 10 years older than me, and was very, very instrumental in my life growing up and everything like that. So I'm going through some stuff, guys, but I really felt that it was the way things happen. I don't believe in coincidences. Things happen for a reason. And this teaching chat, I scheduled this teaching chat probably a week or two ago for this specific um, topic about being my sister's keeper. And then with the passing of my aunt just a couple of days ago, and going through watching her through her illness and in hospice and different things like that, I was like, wow, this right here, it goes hand in hand with it. No, it's not about polygyny or co-wives or anything like that, but it was so much going on about who should have did what, and um, who's to blame for this and how this could have been prevented and all these different things. And then you hear the stories about how stubborn my auntie is or how stubborn she was. And she was a beautiful person, a nice person, and always, opened her home to people. But when it comes to doing things and even taking care of herself, she was a stubborn woman. She would do whatever she wanted to do. So that I was like, it really made sense. And I had, my family, my beautiful bonus daughters, everybody was saying, okay, do you still want to do the teaching chat? Are you still going to do it? Should I cancel it? And I'm like, no, because it fits. It fits. We cannot help. We don't have control over other people and what they do and what they feel and how they think. However, we can encourage them. We can influence them. We can use that, but we can't guilt ourselves and feel guilty for whatever they are feeling or um, whatever they choose to do or choose to decide. So when it comes down to it, and people used to say that I was harsh or that I didn't understand being an incoming wife, like I didn't have a life outside of polygyny, or I came into polygyny as a divorcee. So, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. That when it comes down to it, is that I know different things, and would you guys agree with me? And type in the chat if you agree that if a person has lost a loved one and you have not experienced that yet, that you can still give them comfort, that you can still empathize with them. You can still understand their pain, their hurt, their what's going on, even if that has not happened to you. Or if you're speaking on stage, or if someone, or someone's about to speak on stage and they're super duper nervous, or you have a child that is their first day of school and then they're nervous about it, or certain things like that, and you are working with them to calm them down, to let them know that it's going to be okay. Yes, things are new, things are different. It's um it may be some changes that may be involved, but you'll be there for them, or you at least understand or can empathize with what they're going through. Would you guys agree with that? Type in the chat if you agree. If you guys have any questions too, definitely feel free to type it in the chat. If you have any questions though, please make sure you put question marks before and after, so I know I can really differentiate the questions from the comments. Okay. It's easier for me to find and get to. So here's the thing though, when I say, am I my sister's keeper? Am I responsible for my co-wife's happiness? Am I responsible for the happiness of, the women around me, my sisters? Yes, to a point. And you're not responsible. I'm not going to say you're responsible. No, you can be influential. I'm not going to say you're responsible, because you're not responsible, but you can be influential. You can be there for them. I had another friend of mine, I'm seeing posts that she's making on Facebook, and it didn't feel right to me. So what did I do? I reached out to her. And I'm like, I'm for real here to help. Whatever, I'm here to help. But the way I help may not be the way other people help. The way I help may not even make sense to other people. Because again, I believe in holding ourselves accountable and being clear, having clarity. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want in our lives that will make us fulfilled? What do we want in our marriages to guarantee for ourselves fulfillment and happiness in our marriages? Here's the thing. When my friend told me, she was like, you and your husband are goals. I was like, in my mind, it really blew me away, because she's a single mother. And her daughter is a beautiful soul, really good child. People praise my friend a lot on the upbringing of of her daughter. So different things like that. And but she has her idea of when she wants to, start getting, into a relationship, because her daughter is, a young teenager now and everything like that. But when she said that, it wasn't that, oh, I want to be in polygyny or anything like that, or oh, that, you know, I'm I'm a single mother and this is what I want to know. It was like, the way you guys communicate, the way you guys do things, the way he is with his children and with, even with my co-wife and everything like that. But her whole thing was like the way you guys communicate, the way you are. So she can see things in the big picture of the big picture of things, where she see the whole family, but she also sees the individual marriage, the individual marriage. Yes, we as women, for the most part, and I would think so. I know, even talking to a number of subsequent wives or wives who are coming into polygyny, they um, they come to terms with, or they decide that, you know what, I want to make things easier on my co-wife. It's like that's a normal feeling. And I'm not saying that's all around the board. I'm not saying that's all around the board, because I know people are going to be people, and there are evil people, no matter, evil people, manipulative people. It doesn't matter. I get that. I understand that. But more often than not, it is the incoming wives that are saying, what do I need to do to make sure that she's comfortable with the change, that she's comfortable with me being married to him, and things like that? Because it's put out there that that is the position, or that's the role that an incoming wife has to play, or that a subsequent wife has to play, even though she does not have spousal rights to her co-wife, nor her co-wife has spousal rights over her. Her marriage is her marriage that she should be focusing on, and that goes both ways. And people don't like that I say that, but people are not going to like a lot of things. The truth can be a bitter pill to swallow sometimes, but the truth is still the truth. And the one thing is yes, we have compassion and the love and the care as women to say, you know what, I don't want people to be hurting. But you have women who say, you know what, I don't want women to be hurting. I don't want women to feel like they have to raise their children by themselves, or that even if they're not single parents and they're just, whether they're young virgins or young, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like they should have the man that they desire. They should have this person that allows them to be fulfilled, to be happy, to enjoy their lives, to spend to have this companionship. Just as much as I should be happy in my marriage, who am I to say that another woman should not be happy in hers, even if that woman is married to the same person I'm married to? That is what we call oppressive and selfish, and it's mean. It's mean, because our job is to focus on our marriage and allowing that to be what it is. My marriage will not look like my co-wife's marriage, and my co-wife's marriage will not look like mine, because we do things differently. Our marriages are different. They're on different timelines. They're in different stages, all of that. And I'm not trying to find out what's going on in hers so I can implement it in mine, and vice versa. However, when there's some pain going on, I don't know how many times my co-wife has reached out to me during this time of my aunt's illness and my aunt's passing. Between these times, she's been reaching out to me consistently. I haven't seen her yet because I've been busy doing a whole lot of other things, but she's been reaching out, and it's a beautiful thing because it shows that she cares. And I do the same for her, and I've done the same for her. This is not our first, rodeo of just being there for each other. But you know what we're not doing? We're not comparing and contrasting, of what the marriage is looking like on each side. So yeah, my comfort and going through some grieving times, she's there for me. When I'm confused or when I need some help with some stuff, when I may need a break from the baby sometimes, yeah, she's there. So what does that mean? Am I my sister's keeper? How do I ensure her happiness? It's not about ensuring that happiness, but it's being there as a sister, it's being there as a friend, it's being there as a person who cares. I'll share some things. I tend to do this because I write down some notes and I don't want to forget. Like I stated to you guys, I got a lot going on, but I definitely want to come to you guys because this is very important. And it just fell into place with what is going on with in my life. But I talk about being there for your sister, being there for your family. And how do you do that? Well, you confide in one another. You confide, you trust. Oh, that's a big, big word, big deal. It's a big, big deal because trust is important. Trust is important. Oh my gosh, what I've been going through with the arrangements and everything like that. You can see where there's lack of trust, where there's more trust here and not enough trust there. And it causes so much disparity, so many issues when trust is not there. When trust is not there. So how can you help a person, influence a person, care for a person if you don't trust them or they don't trust you? I can feel, I can genuinely say I can trust my co-wife with particular things. She could genuinely say she could trust me with particular things. And I'm saying that because we got it, real is being real. And you don't trust everybody with everything. I don't trust my sisters with everything. I trust them with particular things. I trust my mother with particular things. I don't trust anybody with everything. I just don't. And maybe that's something I have to deal with, and I'm being real. But I do trust. And then if I'm not trusting on particular things or confiding, I have to ask myself, why not? Why not? Is it a me thing, a me problem? Or is it something that someone has done um, to sever that trust, to sever that confidence? And that's how it would be. So you want to be able to confide in the person, and you want to be able to have that person be able to confide in you. So you want your sister to be able to confide in you, your co-wife to be able to confide in you, and you to confide in her. But you know what, how you do that too? You communicate with one another and communicate honestly and openly with one another, not trying to dig for dirt, not trying to one up each other, but communicate to get to know one another, to bond, to connect, which is my next C, to connect. You confide, you communicate, you connect. Connect on different levels, not just of wives or women who are married to the same man. My co-wife got to know me more than Coach Nazir's second wife or the woman who married her husband or anything like that. So being able to have that trust. And sometimes we have to get over our trust issues because it could be things in the past that could have caused issues in our trust, why we don't trust as much. But as I stated before, we have to look into that and say, well, why? Why aren't we trusting? Why aren't we trusting this person? Or why aren't we trusting this situation? Sometimes it could just be that intuition and that feeling. But see, sometimes those things can be wrong too. A lot of times they can be right, but sometimes they can be wrong. And that's where the communication comes in. Oh my gosh, communication is key, but proper communication is key. Proper communication. Not blaming people, um, making them out to be the bad guy, these things like that, being able to communicate to understand. And we say, seek first to understand, then be understood. Seek first to understand, then be understood. Right? I'm not going to go long, guys, because the more I talk about it, the more I'm starting to feel just emotional. And I'm being transparent with you guys because going through this stuff with my auntie and the family, period, because it's the mother and the daughter and the sisters and the children and a lot of the different things. And I'm watching this. I'm kind of watching it because this is how I am. I'll watch, take mental notes or take notes, and this is what I would like to do. And a lot of the stuff is now put on me and my cousin, like her daughter, to get things together as far as arrangements go. So we're working together kind of like as sisters, pretty much, to get things situated and smooth. However, another thing is that give me a second, guys, because I need to get me some water, and I'm going to take a commercial break. So, and then I'm going to get into a number of things, a little bit more into the confide, the communicate, and the confide, the communicate, and the connection. So you guys can have wonderful relationships with your sisters, wonderful relationships with your co-wives, and then, moving you to what it can be. One of the things is that I do a number of classes. We do a number of classes in our polygamy education campus, which I love so much. Because you guys can ask questions, you can learn a lot of different things. We have challenges, all of that other good stuff. So I'm going to give you guys some information on that right now and take a little break. And I'll see you after this. If I can. One second, guys. Things were updated. Hear ye, all my fellow wives in polygyny and polygyny wannabes. Come closer, a little bit closer. Okay. Do you really want fulfillment in your marriage? Do you want to stop the feeling of guilt because you married a married man or because you want to marry a married man? Do you want to stop feeling like you were pushed aside, disrespected, neglected because your husband married another woman? The solution to these feelings and others lie with being intentional and courageous communication, as well as embracing your identity. If you want to find out how to gain success in these areas, check out my gratification through growth, counseling, and coaching at CoachNyla.com. And I'll see you on the other side. All right, I'm back. Yeah. So I do offer group coaching for women and wives in polygyny, wives who are looking to get into polygyny, or wives who are actually are new to polygyny or about to get into polygyny. Okay, thank you. Someone brought me some water. So so I have that. So let's get into this a little bit more. And like I stated, it's not going to be too long. And I really I appreciate you guys sticking in with me and being here in the Poly Teaching chat. And I'm going to look at some of the comments and questions. If you guys have a question, definitely put the question marks before and after the question, so I can really pick that out and get to it first. So real quick, Tina, I'm going it to he has someone else is learning to deal with a new change. That's true when it comes to, goodness, my nose is itching again. When it comes to dealing with change, and we have to think about it. Life is full of changes. Life is full of changes, um, and being able to look at your marriage, look at minding your marriage. That's the thing, and it's easy to say, and the interesting thing is it's actually really easy to do when you are being intentional. When you're being intentional, the same things that I said about the being my sister's keeper, and the confidence, confiding, communicating, and connecting, that's the same things that we will utilize to be fulfilled in our own individual marriages. Trusting our marriage, trusting our husbands, trusting. This is the thing that we'll say over and over and over again, and sometimes it either falls on deaf ears, or sometimes we don't want to hear it because it's a lot of different reasons why we don't want to hear it. Whether it's, we are feeling this pain, and so we want people to understand that we are in pain. I don't know. But when it comes down to it, we'll say that if your husband didn't love you, if your husband didn't want to be with you, he would have divorced you. He would have divorced you instead of just marrying again. And I know that doesn't make it easier on any wife to hear that. But the thing is that when you really focus on that, or not even just focus on that, but hear that and say, you know what? We are still married. That's still my husband, and just like it's her husband and everything like that, it's still my husband. Even as incoming wives or second wives, subsequent wives, or whatever, they come in that at a time where they never get this alone, this I was only married to him time. And I know people say, well, look, well, this is something you chose. Yes, you chose it. We all choose it. The first wives who are there and their husbands marry again, they choose to stay if they decided to stay. So you chose to stay, choose to work on your marriage. Incoming wives that come in, they choose to marry a man who's married already. They choose to work on their marriage. Like, seriously, I know it's like you make it sound so simple. We can make it simple. We can make it simple. It's not the easiest thing because emotions are still there, feelings are still there. But the feelings, as I stated before, are the meanings that we put on it. The emotions will come. And I was stating that as far as emotions go, emotions will happen, but it's the meaning you put on them. Because one day I was just speaking, and I just started crying out of nowhere. And I can't just say crying out of nowhere during this event and doing this thing with my auntie. I just started crying in mid sentence, and I was like, "I'm sorry. Look, and I had to just be honest. I'm like, this is gonna come and go. It's like, I don't know, it's these emotions. So my emotions are gonna happen. But the intelligent part about it is knowing that they are going to happen, knowing that this is what you're going through, knowing that this is what you're feeling, and being able to say, well, what am I going to do in this situation? What am I going to do? If I'm getting overwhelmed, if it's too much going on, I excuse myself, and I'll take a breather, and I'll take a break. I got family members that are around me that saying, hey, take a break. Or I have people that I know I can reach out to. I know I can reach out to my husband and say, I'm feeling the way, I'm going through this. Could you help me out? My co-wife, same thing. I'm going through this. I may need, a brunch break or something. Let's go have coffee or something. And I just need, an ear right now, whatever the case may be. But see, that's that intelligent part to say, you know what? I'm going through these emotions, or I'm having these feelings. Now, what do I do about that? What do I do about that? Do I place blame? Do I say this person is responsible for me feeling this way because this person is responsible, then they have to fix it for me? Or do we have the confidence and trust in ourselves to say, you know what, I'm going to be honest with the situation. I'm going to be honest with what's going on. So that's the thing too, where when you stated that, it's just, accepting change or going through the change, is that knowing that change is going to happen and saying, well, how do I navigate through this change? How do I know that it's going to be different? Every day is different. Every day is a different day. We go through changes every single day. But some changes are more are bigger than others. So I'm not going to act like every change is the same. But if we put it in perspective, it's the perspective that we put things in that makes the difference. So if it's something huge, and I think I remember hearing something that said oh my gosh, it was like the size of our problems, or I wish I can remember, but it's something about the size of our problems, the way we deal with it, and the way we deal with the size of our problems or whatever is kind of like, where we are, like our level of maturity or our level of growth and everything like that. So if we can handle or deal with or navigate through, excuse me, big challenges. And if we can't, that's okay. Like this is what I mean. It's okay. If we can't, and we know that we can't, and we say, you know what, I can't do this by myself. Not that I just can't do it and I'm just not going to do it, because we can choose to do it or not. But I can't do this by myself. I need help. I need assistance. Sometimes that vulnerability is hard. It's hard to say, I need this help. But being able to do that, you'll see how many people are there for you. You'll see how that you are not alone in any of it. So I'm not going to pretend like emotions are not going to be there, raw emotions and things like that. But the intelligent part comes from how am I going to deal with these emotions, and what is the meaning that I'm putting on this? And can I trust and confide in people, in myself? Can I confide in myself to confide in other people, those who I love, those who love me? So I can communicate properly and learn to communicate my feelings, my emotions, without placing blame, without playing victim or being victim or whatever the case may be. Even if it's like, okay, maybe I need to take some time out. And I've done that before, where I've taken some time out and I said, okay, this is the issue. So I'm giving you guys some tips. I hope you guys taking this down. I'll write down these issues. This is the issue that's going on with me, and I need to navigate through these issues. Who can I reach out to? Or what book can I read? Or what coach can I contact? Or what these type of things is going to help me through this. Because once you all agree, and type in the chat you agree, that it's not good feeling bad. Like, we don't want to feel bad. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be moping around. And if that's the case, then we have to take responsibility for our happiness, for our peace, and being able to confide, have that trust, be able to communicate, and be able to connect. Connection is beautiful. Being able to connect with yourself, connect with your creator, being able to do those things, because that will help you through the toughest times in your life. So, I mean, thank you. May Allah make it easy for me. And the thing is this, and because, alhamdulillah for Islam, and this is, for those who are not Muslim, definitely, maybe this is a dawah moment. Because of that, because of my strong faith and how deep I'm just grounded in it, it helps me through a lot of issues. It helped me through even my tough times in polygyny, the comparison, going through the comparison trap with my co-wife, that she was, here before me for so long, and knowing our husband since they were teenagers and high school sweethearts, and the story, the love story and all these other things, and the children and all of that stuff. But being able to be grounded in, my Islam, grounded in my deen, knowing that, you have beautiful people around you, that they believe in, believe in the same thing that you believe in, and that they are working hard at their growth as well. It makes it a whole lot better. And, and then you have that grounding that helps you improve yourself and be able to ask the questions of, is this real? Am I just, putting heavy meaning on it that is not beneficial to me? Am I comparing things. Am I envious? Do I not want this person to have happiness too? These things. And then you have to question yourself in your environment and what you're doing, what you're putting out into the world. I talked about this in the last teaching chat, and I was talking about the spilling of something in the cup. Someone bumps you and you spill milk. So somebody bumped you, you had milk in your cup and you spilled milk. Somebody bumped you, you spilled milk. And it's like, well, why did you spill this milk? It was like, well, such and such bumped me, or this person bumped me. Like, no, you didn't spill milk because a person bumped you. You spilled milk because milk was in your cup. So that is stating, what are you filling your cup up with? I really love that. And it helped me put things in perspective a lot. Like, what are you filling your cup up with? Are you filling your cup up with jealousy, insecurity, hate, uh, drama, trauma, things like that? Or are you filling it with gratitude, compassion, love, sincerity, those things? Because even if someone bumps it, or your life gets rocky, or something shakes you, whatever you filled your cup up, it will be what spills out. So it will be more compassion if that's what it's filled with. It'll be more gratitude, more love, or it'll be the negative if that's what you're filling it up with. So, oh, my nose is itchy. So, those different things. So I'm looking at the comments and things like that, and so I'm going to go through the questions first. And so, how do I keep the love for him? And I know this comes from what you stated before about it's going that you're going through this. You're going through your husband marrying again. So let me kind of put that. So I'm going through it. Has someone else just learned to deal with the change? And the question goes, how do I keep the love for him? The thing is, it's not a cookie cutter way. I'm not going to just give you some blanket statement, because it's not. Things can be simple if we make it simple. The thing is, it's like, I don't know what your marriage looked like before then. So that's why we do have our coaching programs. That's why we have our counseling programs. That's why we have our polygamy master classes and things like that, because it goes deeper into finding out the background, and then being able to move on forward for that and get you the results that you need or the results that you desire. However, what I will say is minding your marriage, doing what I stated earlier, and the confiding and the communicating and the connecting, and communicate to connect. As I stated before, first seek to understand and then be understood. And understand also that it's not going to always be what we want to hear. I remember when my friends come to me and they they want some advice, and they know they only come to me when they want the truth. So I love that. It's I don't know, I can't say it's a blessing and a curse, but it's one of those things where it could be good, and then it could be where they'll wait to the last minute to come to you when things are, when all the marbles are just scattered everywhere, help them pick up the pieces. However, I'll ask them, I said, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? Or do you want me to tell you what you need to hear? What you need to hear may not be what you want to hear. So, and even if they want to hear, they tell me they want it, where they want is what they want to hear. And I'm like, you know what, this is not you came to the wrong person for that. Because if you really want help and you really want assistance, then you want to hear the truth, no matter how much um, it may hurt, because then you can move on, you can move forward, and you can decide what you're going to do in order to improve the situation. But giving ourselves false hope, or giving our telling ourselves lies, that's going to cause more issues, and we're not going to be able to grow from that. And that's the thing too, when I said the confidence and the trust in ourselves. We've heard every lie we've ever told, whether it's to ourselves or to other people. So sometimes it's very hard to trust others because it's hard to trust ourselves. So we have to learn to trust ourselves again. And that means being intentional with the truth, being intentional with accountability. So let me go. I hope that helped. Um, let me see. Okay. So, am I wrong for feeling upset when someone isn't sure that they want what they want, but still pursuing the situation? That's an interesting question because I can't tell you whether you're wrong or you're right, or for feeling a way that you're feeling. The thing is, as I stated before, our feelings are the meanings that we put on the things. Our feelings are the meaning that we put on the things that are going on. And we can't control other people. We can only control ourselves. So a lot of times we aren't even sure what we want, but clarity is key. Clarity is, I had said a lot of things is key, especially with those C's, right? Clarity, communication, confidence, all that other good stuff, connection. But being clear on the things that you want, it makes it easier to to map out the path to get there when you have clarity. Sometimes if you don't know and you're just saying, okay, well, I'll just figure it out along the way, it'll take longer to get to where you want to go because you're not sure of what it is. But my thing is, when it comes to, if it's someone else, they're going to do them. They're going to do what they're going to do. As I said before, if you want to be influential, then be as influential as you can be. But they're going to still do the things that they want to do, or that they feel that they want to do, or they choose to do things. As far as that, I stated that, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was talking about the with my auntie, and the stubbornness, and we all have that in some way, shape, or form, especially the women in my like in my family. We have that, where we get fairly stubborn on certain things. When something about, even when it's come to someone, we like, oh, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. So I always have this thing where I state, we always have to make it seem like it's their idea. I don't care. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the women in my family. I don't care if it's, you know, anyone. It doesn't matter. Even if even if it's, my husband, even if it's Coach Nazir, certain things. Um, a lot of times people would like to be guided, but they don't like to be told what to do. They like, people to give them information, but they don't like them to give them, um, what's the word? They don't like to give them I'm telling you what to do, that type of thing. I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but they don't like that. So a lot of people like it to be their own idea. So, and it's not, I don't want to say it's not being manipulative, but manipulate is a word that is neutral, because, it means to mold, it means to shape, it means to, to do those things. So it can be negative and it can be positive. It depends on who's doing it and how they're doing it. But being influential is a form of that, is a form of, manipulation in a good way, I guess. And it could be, and that's not neutral too, I guess, if you think about it. But the thing is that they're going to do the things that they want to do. They're going to pursue what they want to pursue. And I tell people, I'm like, it's up to me. I give you the information. It's up to you to do what you're going to do with the information. That's even with these chats. This is also with the coaching that I do. I do the same for my clients. I'm giving you the information. I'm guiding you through it. But you have to be the one to be confident in your ability, because I'm confident in my ability to help you out, and I'm confident in my ability to get you the results that you should have and that you want to have, if you are confident in yourself to get those results, if you are confident enough to work with me to do that. So that's just life in general. People look at their lives and they're like, how did I get here? or why am I, being this way, or why am I, you know, why do I not have this relationship that I desire? And we have to ask ourselves the difficult, burning, honest questions, but ask the proper ones so you can get the proper answers. We can be like, oh, why me? Well, why not you? It's those type of things. No, the thing is like, okay, what happened to get us here? And what do we need to do in order to get to this level? But as I said before, clarity is key. Being able to be clear on what you want to have. Being clear on what that looks like for you. And it's not going to always be easy. The decisions are not always going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you that. But you have to be able to deal with whatever comes out of the decisions that you make. And that's being confident, being able to communicate, that's being able to connect with yourself. This is first and foremost with you. Then you can be able to do that with others. And going back into the be my sister's keeper, that's being able to be that, being able to influence, being able to be that person that is not going to be a pushover or anything like that, but being that person to say, you know what, I want to have a relationship with you in a way that, we are family. We're family. So when you need me for things that you are going through, that I can help you with, that is not going to be something that is going to cause drama and trauma and or negativity, I'm there for you. That's the thing, how we become, our sisters, our comfort, even when it comes to our husbands, our comfort, we are supposed to be the peace. We're supposed to be the peace. So when a person needs you or a person comes to you, even if they're coming to you with negativity, I'm really good at stopping negativity for the most part. That, like I said, it was stuff like that was going on. And I said, you know what? No, this is the time we're not going to do this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about something positive. Let's bring up some, good things, or let's find a solution. We're not going to just, oh gosh, I don't know what word to say because I don't want to say, whatever. We don't want to moan and act a fool and talk negative and things like that. We're women. We should be classy anyway. We should be classy anyway. Not ratchet, not crazy, not, so against that. And sometimes it's so hard. And here's the thing where people say, and here's a question here. So is it hard for the first girl to accept poly or the second girl, and why? It depends on the person. It really depends on the person. You have a number of incoming wives. It's not about even being hard to accept it. Sometimes it's not even accepting polygyny. I guess that it's a thing. It's a lot of other things that come with it. The sharing, quote unquote, sharing of the husband, the time being split, the things being changed, the knowing that the husband is being intimate with another person. And it could go either way. So it depends on the person. That's why, we are here to assist in the growth, the emotional maturity, being able to navigate through challenges, being able to mind your marriage, being able to focus on that and build on that. Because polygyny is just a form of marriage. You're still monogamously married to your husband. And once we really start understanding that and what that entails, polygyny is not going to be such an issue that people make it out to be. But until then, we're going to have the different conversations. We're going to continue to have the conversations. And we're going to continue to have the coaching and the counseling and the programs, and you guys want to find out more about that, definitely, especially our campus. I mentioned it before briefly, and I didn't give you guys the information. Make sure you do register, be part of our polygamy education campus at polygamyeducation.com. Polygamyeducation.com, that's our campus. And we do a number of different things. We do the challenges there. We do different classes. I have a few classes coming up. Coach Nazir does Wealth Wednesdays. We do a number of classes. I have a class coming up that is on the confident wife, or and even in polygyny, confident wife, happy life. So this is pretty much a piece of that when it comes to bonding with your co-wife, or at least having a cordial relationship, or also understanding that this is a person who is married as well. This is a person who deserves the love and support and the care just as much as I deserve the love and support and care. We just happen to be married to the same man. This man can do these things. We are putting limits on our husbands of what he can do based on what we are feeling, the meaning that we are putting on these things. And what does that say about us as wives? If we're putting limits on our husbands, we are putting these limits on him. Now, and I'm talking about in a healthy marriage. I'm not going to act like there are not predators out there and things like that. I'm talking about healthy polygynous marriages. Even if the husband may have not, they don't know, maybe they don't know how to navigate yet, because there's not a lot of information. It's not a lot of information out there. We're putting a lot of this information out here now, and we're being consistent with the information, the coaching, the trainings, the things as far as that, because we know it's a need. We know there's a need for this. There's a need to help women navigate through polygyny. There's a need to help men navigate through polygyny. Whether you're a first wife, second wife, third wife, fourth wife, it doesn't matter. There are issues everyone is going through. Whether you're a husband that told his first wife before he decided to practice polygyny, or he found out that he was man enough. And I say man enough because he's like, okay, I got this stuff in place. I can practice polygyny. I want to practice polygyny. He finds out later that this is something he wants to do. It's no cookie cutter way. There's no cookie cutter way. But we as wives have to understand that if our husbands didn't want to be with us, he would have divorced us. So now, knowing that, we have to say, how do I work on my marriage? How do I mind my marriage, build on it, and have fulfillment in it? And we help you with the hows, in our classes, in our courses on the campus. I have a challenge coming up, the Break Free from Jealousy challenge coming up. If you guys are serious about wanting to know how to break free from jealousy, how to get out of the rut of the comparison trap, how to build your marriage, your individual marriage, sign up for that challenge. Register for that challenge. And you'll register for that challenge at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/jealousy. Okay? So, and it's on there. So you guys see it. It's on the screen. Okay. So, okay, okay. I hope that answered your question though about, is it hard for the first one to accept poly or second, and why? It depends on the person, and it depends on what they have going on and the meaning that they put behind it. So here's a question. Let's see. Oh, so why when a person makes a comment expressing their feelings about something, get jumped on and called names? I took my comments down from last week because of that. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Aisha. But when it comes down to it, people are going to be people, and people are going to have opinions, and they're going to say what they want to say. And why? I don't know. That's the thing. We just when it comes down to it, and it's being able to deal with it within ourselves. Because as I stated before, we can't. People are going to be people, and we can't control them. I mean, I can give you story after story after story about how many names or things and everything like that I was called. Even just it wasn't even about the things I said. It's by me being married in polygyny. Marrying a man who was already married. So the things like that. But being able to, you know, here's another thing too. And if you are firm on your beliefs, as I said before, a lot of people are not going to like the things that I say. It's not going to sit well with them. But my intention is not to hurt. My intention is not to harm. My intention is to give you the information, give you the truth, and you're going to navigate it the way you navigate it. You're going to pick and choose how you want to hear it, see it, or whatever. So some people they're going to take it, run with it, and grow with it. Some people are going to call me names and say I don't understand and do these different things like that. But how do I feel about what I said? Do I have the confidence to know that what I'm saying is the truth? That I know that I'm helping people? That I know that there are people that are going to benefit? The words that are coming out of my mouth and the trainings that I do is for benefit. And I'm not going to let another person make me feel otherwise. So that's the only thing I can give to you, Aisha, when it comes to that. If you have something to say, if it's beneficial, if it's these things, if you have questions, sometimes people are not going to even like the questions that you ask, but you're asking to gain knowledge. That's fine. That's fine. But we can't control what people think and what they say and things like that. That's on them. And I got to learn I don't know if I say quickly or not, but I learned over time that certain times certain things that are said and certain things that people feel, that's a them problem, not a me problem. And I'm gonna try to be as beneficial as I can and put out what I can to this world. And I help others do the same. And there are a lot of sisters, a lot of my clients say, you know what, that's what I got to learn to focus on, being able to be beneficial to my marriage, be beneficial to myself, putting out benefit to this world. That's how we become our sister's keeper, being of benefit by our presence, by what we say, by learning to grow, and by working on that growth. And maybe our light that we are shining so bright on this world will give other people the permission to shine bright too. Because my co-wife lighting my candle does not take away from her light, and vice versa. If I help her, it's not taking away from me. If she helps me, it's not taking away from her. It's giving her more blessings. Her helping me helps her too. And we have to understand that. And I'm going to say what we have to do. If we want better, and if we want fulfillment, and we want growth, and we want success, we have to understand. Yes, we have to understand that helping each other does not hurt. Being able to not be so focused on me when it comes to your husband marrying again. Being able to understand or learning to understand why, okay, he's working on being a better man. He's working on being a better, him. And yes, I know that it was us for so long, but he's growing. And now I can grow and I can do other things too. And then when we come back together, I can tell him what I learned. I can tell him what I've done. And on top of that, there's another woman out there that can be able to have a fulfilling life. And then now we can be connected together and talk and be friends. So my circle improves and gets better and things like that. Yes, you can say, oh, that sounds like a fairy tale in a fantasy world, but we can make that happen if we are intentional in it. When we stop putting negative feelings or negative meanings, on the feelings that we are having, we can be better. Our relationships can be better all around the board. Our marriages, our sisterhoods, our parenting, all of that. But we have to trust in ourselves, be confident in our abilities, be able to communicate properly, and connect. So, let's see. I think that's it. Um, you're welcome, Aisha. That's it for this one. Thank you guys again for joining me with the Poly Teaching Chat. And thank you guys for the kind words, being here, asking the questions, because there's no dumb questions for the most part. The questions that are like, I guess, dumb or whatever are the questions that you don't ask when you want to know the answer to. Okay. So sometimes people are like, okay, I don't want to answer this because it might sound dumb, or I don't want to da da da. No, if you want to genuinely know an answer to something, please feel free and ask the questions. We are here for you to grow. We are like rooting for your growth. So make sure you are joining us on our social media channels, definitely be part of our campus. That's where you're going to get so much valuable information, and you will get more information on when we are going live, and all that other good stuff. And make sure, if you're not already, be part of our email list so you will know and get notified when we're going live, when our book is going to be released, and all that other good stuff that is exclusive to the members of our courses, our classes, as well as part of our email list. And you will find that at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. All right. So I enjoyed the time. Reporting for duty, husband, sir.
Formation. I am Coach Nazir.
I am Coach Fatimah, his wife.
And I am Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships and Polygamy Bootcamp. And if you think that's how polygamy actually works,
you are sadly mistaken.
But you were laughing, right? I know you're laughing. That's funny. Anyway, we're also the authors of Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. And we want to let you know something, because when it comes to practicing polygamy, there's this whole fantasy on how that is, at least on the men's side. Like, I'll do this, you're going to be step, lock, and step. Not at all. Not at all. The challenge is, when we embarked on our polygynous journey, before us raising, 12 children and traveling the world and everything else, it looked a whole lot messier and it was a whole lot more challenging. All right. So what we've done is we put a special gift together for you at polygamybootcamp.com to kind of let you know what the pillars are to really practicing it at a high level, especially if you're new, or if you just have the idea, or maybe you want to just kind of figure a few things out.
Right.
Yeah. Many initial wives believe that they're being replaced, or that their husband doesn't love them anymore, and they don't really know how to deal with that or their emotions.
And many subsequent wives, incoming wives, if you will, or second wives, have the feeling of where do they belong, or that they are not good enough and they have to do extra in order to get the acceptance and the attention and the affection of their husband. And we dispel all of that. polygamybootcamp.com.
Go there, get your free gift. You will thank us later, especially if you're looking at practicing polygyny in a healthy fashion. Make sure you click the link below. Go ahead and get your free gift, and we look forward to sharing more fun stuff with you. So shape up
or ship out.
Click the button below. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.
All right, guys, make sure you check that out. polygamybootcamp.com. polygamybootcamp.com. I hope you guys enjoyed that and enjoyed the Poly Teaching Chat. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys next week, inshallah, God willing, on the Poly Teaching Chat, as well as in the campus. I do have a class coming up No, it's not this Monday, but and Coach Nazir has his Wealth Wednesdays as well. So make sure you go to polygamyeducation.com so you'll see the schedule. We have the schedule of events in our campus. And you guys will know when the classes are coming up and those challenges and those things as far as that. So until next time, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Guys, have a great rest of your day or rest of your evening. And I will see you next week, inshallah, God willing, on the Poly Teaching Chat. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.